Today on Drive-Thru Kitchen, I'm taking on Jack in the Box tacos. Yeah, that's what it's a Jack in the Box taco. You've heard about these things. You've probably had one. Maybe you haven't. If you clicked on this video not having had one of these things, you're in for quite a shock because these are unique, but they're delicious. If you know, you know, right? So we have Jack in the Box tacos right here. I'm even making the sauce from scratch. It's weird. Yeah, it kind of tastes like ketchup. And I'm going to explain why. And I'm even adding the chicken and the textured vegetable protein. Oh, we're going full out Jack in the Box taco here. Everything to replicate it exactly the way they make it. Right here on Drive-Thru Kitchen. Better, faster, cheaper in your own kitchen. Let's get started making some tacos. So if you're going to make Jack in the Box tacos, you better have the Jack in the Box hot sauce. Yeah, there's the taco sauce that goes inside the tacos after they're cooked. We have to make that. You can't find it. If you don't have this sauce, you don't have Jack in the Box tacos. Trust me, I've tried everything else. It doesn't work. So we're going to have to make this. Luckily, I have the receipts right here, or the recipes. Either way, I've heard it pronounced both ways. But anyways, it's fairly simple. The ingredients are right before you. The only really funky thing here is chili sauce. The Heinz chili sauce. This isn't ketchup, it's the chili sauce. There you go. So we have a cup of cold water. We have a quarter cup of the Heinz chili sauce right there. We've got 2.5 tablespoons of, yes, that it is pronounced tablespoon, I checked. This is vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar. It actually specifies distilled white. It has no flavor. Okay, we have cornstarch, about a tablespoon, because we have a cup of water. Checks out. All right. Now, we have another strange ingredient you wouldn't normally find in a hot sauce, which is a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes right there. That is what we're going to put it in here and mix it up, so it's not going to be gritty or anything. It's not going to be weird. All right, now we have our seasonings. Seasonings are 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. We have 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground coriander. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin because it's taco sauce. We have a pinch of ground cloves because it's weird. We have half a teaspoon of sweet smoked paprika because it's delicious and so sweet. And then we have half a teaspoon of seasoning salt, like a Lowry's or something like that. Just basically the catch-all seasoning salt. That is everything that's in it. Don't pay attention to what you're working with now. Come on, we'll work on that in a minute. But anyways, that goes over there. We have a blender here. I got the NutriBullet, because this is easy. So we're basically going to start with this. This is cold water. The recipe specifies cold water because cornstarch heat things. Start with cold water. Don't start with hot water. Cornstarch does weird things when you start with hot water. Just does. Okay, so we are going to put our cornstarch in because what the heck? Try and get it all in there. It matters. Well, red pepper flakes are going in. Our seasoning's going in. I'm going to put our chili sauce in next. Try and get it all in there. It likes to stick to the measuring cup and kill the sound guy. That's annoying. All right, last but not least, our vinegar. Okay, that will make taco sauce, believe it or not. We are going to close this up. Make sure it is closed up nicely. We are nowhere near the line of death right here, so we're okay. And yeah, let's have fun. Let's just have fun with it. There you go. Okay, because there's red pepper flake in there, you have to get that really, really fine, so that goes for about a minute. Yes, about a minute. I know these things say not to use them that long, but that's not really that hard a thing. That's pretty much if you're doing some like heavy juicing thing or something like that. But this is going to get heated now so that we can activate the cornstarch because you've been playing along at home. You know cornstarch doesn't activate until it gets to 204 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 95.555556 degrees Celsius. I looked it up. Okay, let's go to the stove, heat this thing up, and we got the taco sauce part of this already done. Easy, right? Piece of cake. Taco sauce. Yes, it's that easy to make taco sauce. Alright, so this part's super simple. We just have our 3-quart saucepan here, and we are just adding our taco sauce to this to heat it up. Now let it sit for a second until it starts to bubble around the edges. Keep stirring it here. This is the point where it thickens. It's at the magic temperature, and you'll notice it start to thicken almost immediately when it starts bubbling. It's perfect, and after this goes, I don't know, a minute or so, something like that, you'll notice, look, it drags through and you can keep the spots. It's done. It's perfect. That's taco sauce. Okay, the taco sauce is done. It is cooled down a little bit because you don't want to melt your bottle or your face off. It is nice and perfectly gelatinous, as it should be. I'm going to try and put it in a squeeze bottle because that's the best way to deliver this stuff. And I'm going to try and do this. Oh, let's see. If I can do it backwards, can you see? Can you see? Oh, say, can you see? By the taco sauce dripping into a funnel. It's Taco Nation national anthem. Say, can you see the taco sauce? Make sure you get all of it. Lord knows you're going to make a lot of tacos here, so you're going to need every drop of this sauce. Okay, there you go. Basically, there you go. Taco sauce in a squeeze bottle. No, not rocket science. All right, moving on. Okay, moving on to the meat portion of the Jack in the Box tacos. We have here the seasoning. You have to season the heck out of these things because they're weird, and we're going to put some weird stuff in here because it's Jack in the Box tacos. It's an old recipe. This recipe is like 75 years old. So, come on, what 75-year-old do you know that isn't just a little weird? In a good way. We love you. You're great. They'll forget I said that in like 5 minutes, so it's okay. All right. Okay, what do we got? I have the other half of the sheet, which I told you earlier not to worry about. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm putting this part first and that was the part second. If you hear me say that later, you'll know what I mean now. Time travel. I don't know how this works. They're going to cut this together. This guy. Anyways, we have a cup and a half of cold water. We have our thickening agents right here. We have, oh boy, now this is going to be fun. This isn't going in here, but I'm going to go over this real quick because it's on my list. Okay, so we have 2 tablespoons of oat flour. Do you know how to make oat flour? If you don't have it already, take oatmeal, put it in a spice grinder, grind it up. If you don't have that, a mortar and pestle, you can just grind that up. It works great. Maybe there's video of me doing it right here. It takes about 4 seconds. Don't buy oat flour, okay? Unless you're making a lot of oat stuff, just don't make oat flour. All right, the other thing we have in here is masa harina flour. We have 1.5 tablespoons. That's what you make tortillas out of. That's what has that wonderful tortilla-y flavor. It's in there. Yeah, it's corn flour. So we have oat flour, corn flour. What other kind of flour is there? There's hippie flours. No, nobody likes those. That's right, wheat flour. So we have 1.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. There's your gluten component right there. Suck it, celiacs. And that's our thickening agent. There you go. That's all you need to know. I'll show you what we do with that in a minute. Leave it be for now. Just leave it be. Okay. Seasonings. Oh Lord, let's try and do this quickly. Just come on. Okay, we have 2 teaspoons of onion powder. We've got 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I think that's tablespoons. I'm gonna have to put more chili powder in that. Yeah, it's 2 tablespoons of chili powder. I put 2 teaspoons. Glad I caught that. Let's just these would not have tasted nearly as good. So it's 2 tablespoons of chili powder. We have 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. We have 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. We have, what else is going to be? Black pepper, a dash of black pepper, a dash of cayenne pepper. These are not spicy. So if you want them spicy, your tacos, man. But a dash of chili cayenne pepper is all you really need in that. That's basically the gist of what all's in here. There you go. We have right here some salt and some MSG. Oh no, oh, he's cooked with MSG. MSG is not bad for you. That's an old wives' tale. There are a very small percentage of the population that is sensitive to MSG. If you are, I'm sorry, because MSG is an amazing ingredient to cook with. All of the hysteria from the 1960s was way overhyped, overblown, And you're talking about like 0.04% of the population actually has a problem with MSG. The rest of you, embrace the MSG. It is great. It is not necessarily just sodium. It is glutamate. Glutamate is one of the very few ingredients thing. It gives you the flavor on your tongue thing. It's one of the 5 flavors, glutamate. Look it up. I believe it's the umami. It might not be. Might be savory. I don't know. So anyways, there is that. So how much salt? 3 teaspoons of salt in a teaspoon of MSG. Let me grab it real quick. If you didn't know what MSG looks like, this is MSG. You can buy this at the grocery store. There you go. So don't be afraid of it, and this thing will last you forever because you don't need a lot of it. You really don't. It is crazy. Just put that on your tongue. Just take a little bit, put it on your tongue. If you don't have a seizure, you're probably okay. I'm kidding. You won't have a seizure. You might have a couple other symptoms if you're sensitive, but you probably already know that. If you think you're sensitive to MSG, you might not be. Double check. But if you think you are, you probably aren't. If you know you are, you definitely are. So that's how you know. So 3 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of accent right there. We have a little bit of sugar right here. We have 2 teaspoons of sugar because Jack in the Box, why not? We have fresh squeezed lime juice. I squeeze it into these bottles and keep it in here. You know, that's great. What's the other weird one? Worcestershire. Who's your sister sauce? 2 teaspoons of Who Is Your Sister sauce. If you don't know who your sister is, I can't help you. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. That's about what's left in here. So that's perfect. I'm not even going to measure that. Screw that. I'm going to blend this up. We are not using this. This is going to be a thing we're going to do. That was way too much talking. Okay. Put stuff in here. This is a weird recipe though, and if you really want to know how to make this, you've got to kind of understand why you're making it. So, excuse me for explaining it. But Jack in the Box tacos are a little strange. What'd they say, it's deep fried cat food? Something like that. Okay, so this is plenty. If you have dried citric acid powder, you can use that. I would use probably 1/8 of a teaspoon because that stuff is potent. Right. Yes. That's about $6 worth of tomato paste right there. You know, somebody did a thing in 2007 for the cost of what these tacos are, and they figured out in $2007 that they cost roughly 27 cents per taco to make. They sell them 2 for $1, so that's 54 cents that they were doing, and then you got to figure labor and overhead and different things. They're probably making 30 cents back then. Now they probably lose money. They have to be losing money. It's the only explanation I can think of. They got to be losing money on these things because they haven't changed the recipe. 50 years since they've changed the recipe. All right, blend this thing up really good. It doesn't have to go too long, but about 30 seconds. Okay, now let's move on to the protein part of this because, there's more science. And by the way, just set this aside. We're going to use this during the cooking process of the meat, which we're going to do in 2 seconds. As soon as I explain what the meat really is, you're going to want to stick around. Okay, so what do we actually put inside the Jack in the Box tacos? What is our protein right here? Because it is actually protein. It's not cat food. I don't care what the internet says. It just tastes like it. It doesn't even taste like cat food. Have you ever actually had cat food? It doesn't taste anything like that. It has the consistency of it, maybe of a Mexican pate. But it is not. It is, in fact, beef, chicken, and textured vegetable protein. Yeah, a little bit of science. This is textured vegetable protein. It is actually pretty delicious. It's not bad. It comes from Who's Your Sister's farm. We had Who's Your Sister sauce in the other. No, it's this. It's perfect. You can buy that on the interwebs if you want to. You don't have to put this in here. I'm making it authentic because of the comment section. Chicken. We have a 1/2 pound of dark meat chicken. This came off one of those rotisserie chickens. Basically, this is 2 thighs and 2 legs. Comes out to about a half a pound. We have a pound of ground beef right here. You want pretty lean ground beef, but not super crazy lean. 85-15 is probably fine, unless you're bad at math, and then get the 80-30. All right, to make the textured vegetable protein here, we have 3/4 of a cup of this as measured by volume, and we have 3/4 of a cup of boiling hot, well, almost boiling hot, it was boiling a second ago, but by volume. We're gonna add that to this. It's gonna make a funky, weird thing, and then you just mix this up real quick like. This is, let this sit for, what is it, like 5 minutes, something like this. All the moisture will get sucked up into it. Get a better thing than a fork, that's silly, but it's almost sucked up right now. I'm gonna grab one of those silicone spatula thingies and scrape this really good, make sure all the stuff up here, which is still crunchy, goes down there where it's still wet. But basically that's it. This is gonna get cooked up right here. This is already cooked. That doesn't technically need to be cooked. I'll go over this as we do it, but basically we're gonna start by browning this real quick, and that's the first step to actually cooking something that involves tacos. All right, so I've got a 12-inch skillet here, frying pan, whatever you want to call it, and I have a pound of the ground beef in here. I'm just going to break this up and brown this off. It's going to take a couple minutes. You want it just so there's barely any pink left, if none at all. But yeah, just, you know, don't have to worry about breaking this up too much, but it does cook a little faster if you do. Once it's done, we're going to drain this. Don't worry to the people that say, oh, never drain your meat, because today is your lucky day. We are using all of that grease, all of that liquid, all of that wonderful funk in there. It's going to be an important thing, so we are going to put that in a bowl and take it to the side, because we need that for something else. But right now, what we need is a food processor now. I'm putting our cooked meat in here. I really wish I would have put the chicken down first. You'll see why in a second. But yeah, just put your meat in here. That's why we drained the pan, so that we don't get the grease in there. The grease makes a horrible mess. Don't do that. Plus, we need it for something. Chicken's going in. Chop your chicken up pretty small. You'll see why in a second. Oh, look, the chicken's sitting on top. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Okay, so we're going to have to stop that. We're going to have to basically just manipulate this around, because either put the chicken on the bottom or chop it up real small. Otherwise, you're going to have a long fight on your hands, because this is going to take a while. I'm speeding some of this up, editing out. Well, yeah, this took a minute, longer than I would want. Now, the TVP's just been sitting here. It hasn't been cooked. This is, you saw it, you know, get rehydrated in the bowl. This is it. Again, it's surfing on top, so we're just going to have to, you know, kind of move it around. We want this very well mixed in the consistency of pate, or the recurring theme, cat food. I'm going to stop saying that, because at some point a lawyer's going to try and sue me for calling it cat food. It's not cat food. I'm being very clear. This is not cat. Do not feed this to your cat. All right, back to the pan. That juice, the grease that we saved, we're going to heat that up. We're going to add our thickeners in here, and we're going to make a roux, sort of a roux. This is a little bit strange, you know, because we're using the meat grease and some other things besides just flour. But we're basically just going to turn this into meat Play-Doh, beef Play-Doh, right there. You can see that. Don't eat with this. Don't play with that. It's not a toy. This is our thickening agent right here. You have to cook the flour for about 2 minutes, so just make sure you don't burn it. And then it's time to add the juice. Add the juice in here, break up all of that meat Play-Doh, and get this a nice, beautiful consistency. You do not want lumps. Perfect, right there. Now add our Mexican pate in here. It is very, very dry. It's going to soak up all that liquid, but it's going to take a minute for us to break this up in here and mix this all in. Just be diligent about it. Turn your heat down low so you don't burn it. And just keep mixing until it has a beautiful consistency of pretty much kind of a wet sand sort of thing, or, you know, kind of a mortar. If you were doing tile or bricks or something like that, kind of looks like mortar. Now let's taste this and see how it tastes. Yes, you can taste it. It's food. It's actual food. Tastes delicious. Okay, so now let's do the tortillas. This is an easy part. We have a 7-inch tortilla and a 6-inch tortilla. The king size are bigger because it's called king size. These are white corn tortillas. They have yellow corn tortillas, either one if you prefer, but the white is traditional and is what they use, so it's what I'm using. Our oil here is just vegetable oil. You can use canola or something like that, something easy. It is at 350 to 360 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to cook these, flipping them back and forth about 30 seconds per tortilla. You want to be cooked, but not like super crunchy crispy. Then you have to be able to fold them. Put a paper towel between them and move on to the next ones. These are the 6-inch. You can see they're a little bit smaller. Again, about 30 seconds. You want them still wiggling, but firm enough. Keep doing this until you get it all done, and then let's make some tacos. Okay, it is time to start actually making something that looks like a taco. I know, it seems like a lot of work to this point. It's not that bad. You'll be fine, trust me. But we have our meat right here. Yes, I did actually add the chili powder. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's fine, as far as you know. Okay, we've got all of our shells that are fully fried up and beautiful. They are ready to go. Now we have to fight with parchment paper. Parchment paper? Yes, parchment paper. I hate parchment paper with a purple passion. It's preposterous. It is. So we are going to try and get parchment paper to stick to this here. And yeah, I ran out at the thing, so if I'd have made this a 1/2 inch smaller, it would have fit down. Come on, we're fine. We'll be fine. Let's fold some tacos. Now you saw I did 2 big tacos and a bunch of the little ones because, hey, you want to see what a monster taco looks like, and I bet you that thing's going to look really cool in a thumbnail. So that's on the bottom. But we've got all these sitting here. I got 20 made up, plus the 2 monster tacos. I'm going to have more meat than that, but it'll get us going. All right, so we have a scoop of meat right here. We're going to take this and just kind of smash it in here a little bit. There you go. Make sure that falls out because, dear Lord, why wouldn't it? Fold, smash. There you go. That's basically how you make a Jack in the Box taco. Now repeat that 20 times. We are just going to keep going. There's a side in here. You can see this has the little grill marks on it. That's the same marks that the tacos have. So if you have those, put them to the outside so people think they're getting actual Jack in the Box tacos. Now, we're going to try and do this again without dropping this thing. There we go. Give it a little smash. And this meat is very dry. It's supposed to be. You don't want it really cold either. But yeah, you can see the pliability of these tacos here. You can actually smash this really, really well. We're going to stack these up here a little bit and just keep doing this basically all the way along till we get this done. But yeah, if you don't fry these things and you don't fry them enough, you don't get any pliability. And if you don't have pliability, you don't have viability. If you don't have viability, you ain't got tacos. Tacos equal viability. Yeah, you really want to smash it first. What can I say? Just give it a little, there you go. Spread it out a little bit. Is that a lot of meat filling? Yeah. How many tacos can you get out of this? God, at least 2 dozen. I'm going pretty big on these guys because I can, and this is the internet. This is the large cookie scoop, which I believe is, I don't know, 3 tablespoons. I think that's what it is because the little one's 1, big one's 2, and this one's 3. So, could you do this probably more accurately with the middle, the medium size 2 tablespoons? Yeah, probably. But are you going to be as happy? Come on. You're not eating these for the lettuce. But I don't understand why people give these tacos so much grief. Everyone says, oh yeah, well they're cat food. Okay, it looks like cat food, right? Does it taste like cat food? No. It tastes delicious. Yeah. Speaking of the trays, these have to be frozen. Make sure the tray fits in your freezer. Seriously, I'm having to use these little trays because these are the only ones that actually fit in the tray, the freezer. I have much bigger trays. they won't fit. If you have a giant freezer, not a problem. If you have a regular freezer, problem. All right, first try. These are going to go in the freezer. We're going to cover them in plastic wrap. Let me do the next one first. Okay, here's the monster tacos. These are much, much bigger. So we're going to put a little bit extra meat in these. Scoop and a half. They're only 1 inch bigger, but you can put a lot more in. Plus, it's a monster taco. If you don't have the meat in there to back it up, the name is useless. The name is meaningless. Look at that. That is a monster. Come on. That's probably actually the size of their actual tacos, though, be honest. Monster tacos are actually way bigger. Yeah, that's the size. Okay, don't use the little ones. They're great snack tacos. But yeah, this is the size of an actual Jack in the Box taco if you've never had one before. There you go. Okay, I used the wrong tortillas. Video's ruined. I'm so ashamed. I'm definitely going to go fry more shells. All right. Let me show you this real quick, and then I'm going to do those because you don't need to. Yeah, anyways, hold on. Okay, so these are going to go in the freezer. They have to be frozen for at least probably an hour, 2 hours, something like that, depending on your freezer. I don't know. Do freezers vary? Yeah, I don't think they do. So we are just going to take this stupid... Oh my God. Why did they come up with these contraptions? I ran out of plastic wrap, and so I had to reach in for the emergency one down there that no one wanted, and this is the one that I got. So, stupid gizmos. This here, basically, just wrap these. You don't want them like too exposed to the air, but it doesn't have to be super tight. Don't go like crazy around the whole thing. It's fine. Okay, this is going in the freezer. Flat level spot onto a shelf. Again, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, before we can go to the final step. Oh God, this is taking forever, isn't it? No, but you can freeze these for long periods of time. You can individually bag these. I would say group them in a size that you're going to eat. So if your family's going to eat 2 of them or 4 of them at a time, bag them in those increments. They're much easier to work with. If you have like 20 kids, this is what you're going to eat at one time. These are delicious. All right, to the freezer. All right, folks, this is it. We are finally getting to the end of this thing. It's taking a minute. I apologize. I'm trying to get these videos shorter. I'm trying to get them to like 8.5, 9 minutes tops, maybe 10. I don't think this one's going to make it. I just got that feeling. Yeah. Let me know in the comments. What's the ideal length? Don't say 30 seconds, because no. Even my wife says 30 seconds isn't long enough. Okay. This is a family show. We can't say stuff like that. Come on. All right. But seriously, what is the ideal length? I don't know. What do you think? Would you watch this for an hour and a half? God, I wouldn't. Full honesty, full disclosure, I would not watch this garbage for an hour and a half. 8 minutes, sure. All right, but I'm moving on because I'm wasting time. Tacos are out of the freezer. They've been in there for 2 hours. Not overnight. I swear it's not the next day. It might be the next day. It's definitely the next day. By the way, this is a 3rd day of shooting this video. That's what happens when you hurt your knee on the first day. There you go. All right, so tacos are hard frozen. This is exactly what you want. Do not let these thaw out. They are ready to go, as you notice. These are just the big ones. Come on. Like, did you think I was going to waste your time cooking the small ones? No. So we got that. We have lettuce here, shredded up. Beautiful, shredded lettuce. That's going to go on after they're fried. We have our hot sauce, which is very important. I wanted to show you this. Okay, so the packets that you get when you buy the tacos, yeah, I might have a few of those packets laying around. It's possible. So this is my sauce and this is their sauce. Theirs is a little redder. It might have a little bit more of the chili sauce in it, or it could have ketchup in it. It's really hard to tell, or their chili sauce is just slightly different. But the taste of both of these, if I dip a finger in, it has that weird ketchup-y flavor. I know, that's really strange for a hot sauce, but this here, Big difference is the apple cider vinegar, which may be giving it a bit of the browner color. You can definitely taste the apple cider vinegar. White distilled vinegar would be better, it'd be cleaner, and we give you the cleaner thing. Might change the color, or just up the paprika a little bit. Or just put a squirt of ketchup in there. Swear to God, it could be ketchup. Anyway, we're moving on. The next thing you need is an American cheese slice. We're gonna fry up 2 of these right now, so you need 1 slice. Why? Because it's done like this. There. So each taco gets half a slice of cheese. As you can see, it fits in there beautifully. What goes inside the taco, but you'll see that in a second. We're gonna do that over the fryer real quick because that's where these get fried. And the cheese goes in immediately so it starts to melt, because melted cheese is different than not melted cheese. It's just science. Okay, let's go. Okay, now this is the fun part. We've got our frozen tacos right here. We've got our oil. It's, again, vegetable oil. It is heated to about 350, 360. You don't want it much hotter than that. They're going to cook about 45 seconds, maybe up to a minute on each side. And this is perhaps a little bit too crispy. A little bit of the meat does come out, so make sure that you're not using a giant vat of like really expensive oil or like family heirloom oil or something like that. If you put this in your deep fryer, you're going to pretty much pollute the entire deep fryer with all the little bits of meat that come out. And don't be the guy that doesn't drain that. Drain your tacos. You don't want all the grease in there. Come on, the grease is not the good part. Now, we just put those there, and we're going to stick some cheese in here real quick. And try and grab the tongs because they're hot. Okay, that won't work. Nature's tongs, there you go. That's why chefs have asbestos fingers, because nature's tongs work best. You just slide the cheese in there, pointy side up, and basically we're done. Let's make some tacos. Let's eat. The tacos are cooked. All right, we got the cheese in there. It is melting because everything inside is nice and hot. We're going to put our lettuce in right now. You have to be careful because these are hot and they're crispy. I may have overcooked them slightly. I like them crunchy, which is different than the way they do it because they cook them for about 30 seconds. I cook them a little bit more. These had a lot more meat in them, so you got to reheat that meat. That meat should be warm. If it isn't warm, they're not really tacos. They're tortilla popsicles. They don't go crazy with the lettuce. They don't. All right, hot sauce. We got to put a squeeze of our hot sauce in here. Something about that weird hot sauce flavor. It's that ketchup thing or something. Everything about this is weird. I know, I get it. Basically, there's your Jack in the Box tacos. Yeah, I got extra lettuce. Yeah, I got extra hot sauce. Yeah, I've got 24 tacos in the freezer. Oh, I have 24 tacos in the freezer. Taco dance. All right. This is going to cool down for a second before I'm going to dare bite into this. Because remember, they don't cook them all that long, and you sat in the drive-thru 20 minutes waiting for these things. Or parked out in front of the place. We're just going to let these sit. Sounds like a good time to take a thumbnail. Okay, I'm back. This taco is calling my name. We gotta dig in. We're biting into this thing. It is gorgeous. It is. Ah, you saw the intro. You saw this because it just did it 5 seconds ago. I know you did, but here it is again. You've been waiting. It's been what, half an hour of this video? It's probably not short. Oh my God, that is 100%. That really is. It's 100%. The texture, the flavor, everything about. Okay, there's a reason people say this thing tastes like cat food. Okay, it is not cat food. I categorically deny the fact that you could serve this to a cat. Don't serve this to a cat. They won't like you. If you have a stray cat problem in your neighborhood, feed them this. If you like the cat, don't feed them this. Don't waste it on cats. This thing's delicious. Oh, seriously, going back in. Well, I put way too much meat in it to be totally authentic. But, oh, it's so good. Yeah, you would just put 1 scoop, the 3 tablespoon scoop in this large taco. This is the monster taco size. I'm not making those skimpy little tacos. Yeah, I would probably go with the 2 tablespoons in the 6-inch tortilla and 3 tablespoons in the 7-inch tortilla. And then you've got the perfect ratio in there. It's perfect. Oh, these things are so good. And now you know how to make this sucker. There was a Jack burrito too back in the day. A similar filling and stuff. I've told you that already. It's really hard to replicate because they use some funky weird tortilla that is not currently made. And I'm not sure exactly how to make that. I'm not an expert tortilla-rierist. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. Could have. I don't know. But if you're an expert in tortillas and know how to get a tortilla to blister when you deep fry it, leave me a comment. Let me know exactly how to do that because that's the only stuff I'm missing. And then we can make Jack burritos for real the right way because we've got everything else nailed. That meat, I'm telling you, it looks weird, but that's exactly what it is. Now you know why it tastes weird. There you go. But thanks for watching this video. This is already long enough. I'm going to say I'm out of here. And do you want to see more fun stuff? You got to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So hit that thumbs up, leave comments, share the video if you feel like it. And I will see you next time on Drive-Thru Kitchen. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, I'm going with this side. You got to pick a side in everything, basically. In life, just pick a side. Unless you're Switzerland. That's why Switzerland has, what, 4 official languages? They can't pick a side. Name the 4 official languages of Switzerland. I don't know. Is it 4? I know there's at least 3. That seems like a problematic thing, though, doesn't it? But yeah, the reason, going back to these tacos, the reason people give these a hard time is because they don't know about Tacos Dorados. Tacos Dorados is basically this. You take meat, it's usually uncooked, and you put that in a tortilla and you deep fry that. How is this different? That's already cooked. That's the only real difference. But Tacos Dorados is definitely a Tijuana thing, and since Jack in the Box was founded in San Diego, right across the border from Tijuana, you would have had street tacos Dorados. It's a very, popular thing still to this day. So in 1940 something, when old Robert Peterson was when he was, the voices come out. I'm sorry. When he was, coming up with menu ideas, he's looking at these street tacos, going, God, that guy can make that in like 4 seconds. So, stuck in his brain. Smart people see opportunities. Okay, next subject. I'm just standing here filling tacos. Might as well fill some time too. Do you have to put the chicken and the TVP in here? Heck no. You can do all beef if you want. These things taste great all beef. They might taste better. So yeah, feel free. Do you want to do this just TVP? Or black beans or refried beans? Or something? Do you want to put tofu in here? You could probably do a lot of stuff with this and use just basically this method. Use the technique, learn from that, and then expand that out into whatever you really want to do. Right? No reason. Can't. I will never tell you not to. Well, sometimes I will. Don't put your hand in the toaster while it's on. Don't do that. Yeah. It'll warm your hand up. Not like you want. That wants to go more that way. Then you can use your fingers. It's fine. They're clean. If it bugs you, you wear gloves. You know what? Go put some gloves on right now. It'll make us both feel better. There you go. 2, 4, 6. Oh, look at how we're doing. We're flying right along. We are sailing through these. Hopefully this isn't taking 20 minutes. I can get a few more on this side. Okay, so we're going to have the other tray as well. So, there you go. If you have one of those French door refrigerators, I'm sorry. God, I hate those things. I know somebody's going to be telling me how much they love their French door refrigerator. I don't get it. I've used them. I hate them. Hate's a strong word. Sometimes you need a strong word. It's okay to be strong. Be strong when you need to be. Like denouncing French door refrigerators. I think we can all get behind that. Okay, can I get a little more room here? I wonder if I go this way with this. Oh, it just looks cooler. How much of any of this makes it in the video? I don't know. So these will kind of freeze and stick together, so you can't really overlap them like this. They will just be a block of tacos. If the tops touch a little bit, that's fine, but yeah, don't go too crazy. Now, if I come back this way, oh yeah, I can get a whole other, killing it. Jack in the Box fun fact number 47. They were the first fast food restaurant to use an intercom system in the United States. Did you know that? Yeah, I know about cheddar boxes in Anchorage. I know that. Yeah, come on. But they weren't a state. Not yet. I had to wait 9 more years for that. Fun facts about history. Maybe I'll fry up some more shells and do a couple more here. You don't know, could happen. Might be a good idea. You can also make a burrito out of this. Yes, there was a Jack burrito in the 70s. College students. It was Top Ramen and Jack burritos, if you were on the West Coast. Things were awesome. They got rid of them. I don't know why. They were filled very similarly with the same stuff, basically. But they had that cool blistered outside tortilla because they were deep fried like a chimichanga. Chimichanga. That's a fun word. I'd love to be in that meeting. Like, what should we call this thing? Well, it's just a deep fried burrito. Deep fried burrito. No. Somebody's like, what about chimichanga? Ooh, I like it.